Hi, my name is Rihanna. Today I'm going to be showing you my favorite spiritual books that got me tapped in and turned on to expanding myself and starting my own spiritual journey and practices. Keep watching if you are just stepping your toes into spirituality, or if there are some other books that you haven't seen before, I might show you a recommendation that you'll really love. So like many people, I got my first spiritual book introduction from a like-minded soul. Some of my favorite books to start off with are The Soul Searcher's Handbook by Emma Milton. This book basically teaches you a little blip of everything spiritual. I believe it, remember talking about crystals, numerology, astrology, and yoga. It has like a little bit of everything, which is exactly what I love. I can't really hone into on one practice. I like to dabble in everything, and then some days I do one spiritual practice, some days I do another. As I become older, it becomes less and less as I truly decide what helps me tap in the fastest and more clear. This is a really fun book. It's called Hippies in the City. It's basically helping you with all things holistic while living in a modern day society. So it gives you remedies for the bath, remedies for the kitchen, remedies for your room, all things like that you would find in here. Another beginner book that really got me tapped into thinking about my own spiritual beliefs and how I should go about relieving stress and taking it like it is, taking life as it is, was this book, which is called The Fifth Agreement. And it talks about 5 agreements that you have with yourself, your spiritual side, trying to navigate the world where a lot of people think differently than you. So I would highly recommend this as well. I think I even did a little, yes, I did a little doodle on this one when I was reading it. See, it really helps to inspire you and to think your own thoughts. I'd say a beginner or medium book for holistic health and wellness and beauty would be The House Witch. First, can we just talk about this cover and design? Like, oof, yes. That's my aesthetic for sure. This book gives you a lot of holistic remedies, ingredients, step by step, a lot of clearing energy, a lot of making your space as sacred as possible. Creating sacred spaces is exactly what this do, and creating a magical space. The reason why it says The House Witch is because they talk about spells. I don't necessarily think it's Wicca per se, but it's just very spiritual to me in general. So I recommend this book. My favorite crystal lady is Heather from Energy Muse. She has an entire website dedicated to crystals. She sells authentic crystals on her website in all different forms, like products for your face, large crystals, smaller crystals, tumbled crystals, whatever you want. She has 2 books. I own this one, which is Crystal 365, and it shows you 365 ways to use your crystals and different crystals. So she categorizes each crystal into a different aspect of your life. For example, crystals for protection, crystals for career, crystals for pets, crystals for wealth, crystals for travel. So if you have a specific thing that you need to call in and use crystals for, you can go to her index for that, or you can go crystal by crystal to discover new crystals or to identify crystals that you might have, which is really awesome. Okay, these are the heaviest books, but they just feel so nice when they're weighted, don't they? They just feel important. So astrology is one of the biggest ways that I started to get into spirituality. I thought it was one of the coolest things to learn, and just to learn about myself is so awesome. You can see that I've marked a lot of things in here. So when looking for an astrology book, the astrology book is going to tell you about every single person, right? So 365 astrology interpretations. What I like about this one is you don't just have one page for yourself in this book. It gives you about 3 to 4 different sections based on your birthday and your birth chart. So it has the individual day that you were born and everything about that. You can see I marked mine up. It gives you about your element sign, everything that has to do with that. It gives you the period you're in, for example, Sagittarius 1, 2, and 3, or a cusp. I'm a cusp, so it talks about that. It gives you the position, the image, the season, the element, the quality, the ruler, the symbol, the mode. It goes into a lot of details, and like I said, you just don't have one page to read about yourself in this, you have a couple. So you're not just buying a book to read about yourself and only get one page, you're buying this book to read about yourself and get a few pages. Sorry, my dog is chewing her bone right over here. And if you want to show this to your friends, I love books like this because it really helps you connect with your friends on spirituality too. You can say, oh, I want to look up your page and stuff. This is the same exact thing, but it's for relationships. So it brings every relationship combination into one book, very, very similar to this one. They're by the same people, so that is why. Okay, so you're tapping into your spirituality a little bit more. This is kind of the books that I'm reading now. Women Who Run with Wolves. This is a very deeply spiritual book. It talks about myths and stories of the wild woman archetype in our world, from Native American culture, from other stories around the world, talking about the woman and how she stepped into her spiritual power, how she stepped into her goddess, how she stepped into her higher self. So these are stories that I really like to meditate on after. It gives me a lot of thoughts about myself and really puts me into my power and confidence. This is like a total goddess girl book. If you're ready to move on to some other spiritual practices, or you're curious about other spiritual endeavors, one that I've really become curious about is past lives. You are chewing your bones so loudly. I can hear you, and so can everyone else, you little nougat. Is about past lives. So Ainsley MacLeod is an author, and he is a reader and spiritual medium for past lives specifically. He does a lot of things, but his big thing is past lives. So he has 3 books. I own 2 of them. I've already read this one, and now I'm reading this one. I think these are amazing. They're so easy to read, so simple. He breaks it down so crystal clear about what level you are in your soul's journey, what type of soul that you are, to really help you tap into and decide what your purpose is. It really is like a purpose book. Like if you're confused about where you should go, what you need to do with your life, I highly recommend this. This is talking about your old soul and type of different ailments or fears that you deal with today, and how to get over those by learning about yourself and your souls. This one is discovering kind of your purpose, say like a career, or what you should be really doing with your life based on your soul type and your soul level. Last but not least, some like self-development or self-improvement. This book is called Manifest, and it's just a journaling book, but it's beautifully illustrated and handwritten by Annie. She's an incredible spiritual artist if you do not know of her. I mean, her artwork is just freaking beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of people relate to her style and even just the detailing of this gold here. So this is a wonderful book that teaches you how to manifest and tap into your energy. She has questions in here for you to fill out, vision boards. She has and different sections for you to journal on. So dream life, growth, personal growth, career, relationships. I really like to take my time with this book, so a lot of it is or isn't filled out yet. I kind of like to meditate first before I start to journal in this book, just because it's so pretty and I want to fill it with like really good stuff. And so yeah, this is Manifest. Okay, so each of those books deserved a lot more time, but I wanted to kind of make this video sweet and simple for you to kind of get an idea started and look at the covers and see if there's one of them you want to buy or take a look at. Let me know what you decide on, and if you are curious about anything, maybe I can answer some more questions for you. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. I would love to connect with more like-minded souls, and check out my blog, BriannaJolie.com. Peace and love, guys.